for callers 891-1330. Welcome to the show.
Well, Chris, it's a sad day in Boston today. A lot of disappointed people about the fact that the Patriots lost. Not so much that the Patriots lost, but the way they lost. And I can understand, I kind of agree with their feelings. Because that game, I think they outplayed the Oakland Raiders, and they deserved to win. And unfortunately, because of a few things this way and a few things that way, it got turned around, and they managed to lose it.
Kind of a disappointing defeat. However, in defense of myself, I have to say that I predicted here on the show that the Oakland Raiders would win 24-21. Well, both of us predicted the Raiders would win, but I have to admit the Patriots did outplay them. However, it's too bad that the official was put in a situation where his judgment is now being talked about as, the main factor in the game. It kind of overshadowed some really fine performances on both sides.
I agree with that completely, Chris. All you people out there in the listening audience, this is your Sports IQ with yours truly, Jim Nance. Almost forgot my name there for a second, Chris. Daryl Johnson, who is might be out sick today. I don't know.
He may be looking for the Crow dinner tonight. A lot of people were ready to take some shots at him.
I wonder if the Patriots losing had anything to do with him not showing up today. That couldn't be the case. Anyway, Daryl Johnson, Chris Haynes, yours truly, Jim Nance. And our number here in the studio is 891-1330. And rather than get into the news, let's talk about the Patriots.
So, I'll talk about all four games that we saw. Washington Wally came on the show Friday night, and at about 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, Washington Wally was put away for the season. Redskins just plain ran out of gas in that one. Vikings are a little too strong.
I think McClanahan had a lot to do with turning it around for the Minnesota Vikings. He's never played so well in his life.
Anytime you get both your starting backs rushing over 100 yards in a playoff game, and then Sammy White came up with a couple of great catches, particularly the one flat on his back against Ken Houston.
Where he bobbled 2 or 3 times, right?
As far as the Patriots game, Jim, I think before we really get into a discussion of the officiating, a couple of things bothered me about that game. One, in the first half with Francis's, the tight end option pass by Russ Francis. I felt maybe a bad call. Naturally, if it had worked, great, but I mean, Francis has not thrown the ball very often.
Well, I think
during the season.
I think that's afterthought, Chris, and I think that had that turned around and gone in favor of the Patriots, everybody would have been cheering that particular call.
Another thing that I wanted to point out, and I don't want to make like I'm taking the side of the Oakland Raiders, because believe me, all three of us on the show were hoping that the Patriots would win. But in the aftermath of that game, and everybody talking about the officiating, there was only one sports writer that I saw in the entire paper that mentioned the fact that both Patriots touchdown drives were aided by penalties called against the Oakland Raiders on the punting situations. All that aside, I think a few things that I learned from the game is that George Atkinson has a lot of nerve to be suing Chuck Noll for $3 million because I swear...
I agree with what you're about to say completely.
George Atkinson and then Willie Hall doing the same thing. Willie Hall knuckled Stingley something fierce. Tatum completely annihilated Randy Vataha on a play that you could barely see as the pass was going incomplete, and Tatum took a nice shot, but George Atkinson just wound up from left field and let one go right through Les Francis's face mask, and if that isn't a case for suspension or, it's
lawsuit or something.
It's like a murderer being out on bail and saying, I didn't do it, and then going ahead and killing somebody.
Let's see what our listening audience has to say. Yes, you're on here.
Yeah, Jim.
Yes, how you doing?
Loyal Patriots fan here.
Right, I'm sure you're disappointed with the outcome of the game.
Well, I'm just as disappointed, I guess, as everybody else is in Boston. I hope one thing's been proven.
What's that?
The Patriots went out there to win, and all the sports writers in Boston and a lot of the radio personnel they didn't think they were good enough to do it, but they proved they were. And they went out there and they played the Oakland Raiders tough, and they played better than they did. And I certainly hope that from now on, it's put to rest all the doubts about the New England Patriots. They are a coming football team. Do you agree with me or not?
I have to agree that I'm going to have to eat a little crow myself because My expectations of the Patriots winning as many games as they did this past year. I just didn't think they'd win that. I just did not think they'd win that many games. And I have to give some of the credit to Chuck Faraday. And the proof of the pudding, though, will be, I'm talking about his coaching ability, will be how well he does next year. If it's a flash in the pan, or if he is a true coach, then we shall see next year.
I think the loss in Oakland, the way it happened, is going to solidify this team even more than they've been already. They were robbed. There's no two ways about that. You can't go out there, and I thought there was an important point brought up yesterday on some of the talk shows that there wasn't one holding penalty called against Oakland on the 34 pass plays that they had. And to have Lenkitis call for, I think it was 3, right, in the space of about 5 minutes, it's kind of ridiculous. Whether or not a home crowd intimidates the field judges that much is really speculation on my part, but I'm sure it does have some effect.
I was sitting and watching part of the game on Saturday, and one of the things that was going through my head was the fact that, if you dare to play in the Lions, then you got to beat them fairly. There can be no doubt in your mind and in their mind as to what the outcome of the situation is going to be. Now, the Patriots had an opportunity on about the 26-yard line in the fourth quarter to pack it away, and it was an undisputed win. Now, the problem is, and this is where the youth of the Patriots comes into play, because when you make those little mistakes, right, like Sam Cunningham not going up field and getting that first down, that put the Patriots in a situation where they're 3rd and 1. All right? Then they come back, they jump outside. Those little things are so important. They could attack on another 7 points and put the game away. As it turned out, they get a penalty, pushing them back 5 yards, eventually out of a field goal situation, and that really determines the game. Now, I could just see, I was sitting there watching the game, and I could just see the game building into a situation where it was going to go against the Patriots. Because you got to remember the fact that in Oakland, and those last 2 minutes, I just knew there was something going to happen in favor of the Oakland Raiders.
What about that play where Grogan threw I don't know who it was,
Filippiano.
Yeah, well, there was a situation there that they just could have picked up the first down, and that's building like that down right there.
That's one more, right?
I was surprised at that, because Filippiano was not really noted for being, shall we say, a dirty or a cheap shot item.
Yes, he is.
And see, this is all right? He actually annihilate Randy. The cheap shot.
And you also saw Willie Hall give a similar forearm in the face.
They had a thing on 7 and it was irritating to watch that guy, because he doesn't have a team that what the hell, I don't do it to him. What my squad does, as long as they win, that's the most important thing.
Well, I think that's the attitude that prevails because of Al Davis.
Right.
They could put Madden on a leash, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Meandering up and down the side and the other one to the field was purely Bush. Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just me, all right?
Right.
I'd like to say hello to Sandy and Jerry from Waltham. And I'd also like to say that this is for Jim Nance. I have to do this at this particular time because the guys listen. Second Lieutenant Phil Stevens, with Company B, 181st Combat Engineers, says that Jim Nance is a hell of a soldier. Except the 181st Combat Engineers is a pretty shabby outfit, I must say. I have not the slightest idea, but I had to get those little things in there because the people requested it, and I guess they're great friends with Jim Nance. But I heard you talking about this game Sunday, right?
Right.
I just came in, and I'm going to tell you what I think about the game. Sure, I got to eat a lot of crow because every team I picked did not win. But I want to know how much money
did they pay the referee in the last 30 seconds of that football game? I am very interested to find out how they can call roughing the passer when, if you saw in the videotape replay, Hamilton hit Stabler, not that hard, but the exact same time he let the ball go, and there was not any roughness involved there. And secondly, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was kicking the football after the referee had placed it down when Mel Lunsford was trying to get Shell off of his back, and he kicked the ground and hoping that the referee didn't call a penalty, and the football was in his way, and they call it unsportsmanlike conduct. And I'd like to give my congratulations to Sam Cunningham for not running just one little more inch when he ran out of bounds. That would have given him possession of the ball for another couple of minutes. Well, and also to John Smith for missing a very important field goal. And I'd like to thank the Hall players for playing them out. I'm mad at everybody because I just felt that the Patriots was better than those guys. That was it. But they weren't. You know, but I think really... He's really a very unemotional person, but he was certainly upset by it. I'm sure the Patriots played. I'll guarantee it. If you remember at the end of the game, one of the announcers was saying, "Now look at these Patriots are furious on the sideline." They turned over to John Calhoun, and after a couple of words out of his mouth, they took the camera quickly over. When I took my after-selfie, so I'm ready to eat my crow. You don't need to eat your crow, but if you can find out how much that referee was paid, right, I would appreciate it very much. That he got 15% commission. The Patriots won that game. I don't care what the hell the score was. No, sir, they didn't win. They did not win.
Champions without a crown.
Patriots won the game. They played well. Won the 1975 World Series. They represented themselves well, though. I really thought they represented a lot better than I even thought they played.
They represented themselves a lot better than the Baltimore Colts did against the Steelers.
Oh, believe me, the Pittsburgh Steelers look insurmountable.
Awesome.
Oh. Guess what, sir?
Yeah.
The game of the century will be played Sunday when the Pittsburgh Steelers play what they consider the Dirty Raiders, and there is no love lost between the Steelers and the Raiders and Atkinson and Swan and Franco and the rest of them. And I'm telling you, I will be in front of my 2 cents because there will be a battle. There will not be a football game.
I just hope they do with Atkinson what they did to Fred the Hammer.
Run right over him and leave him
take
there.
him right out of there.
I can about promise you that George will not be sleeping too well for the rest of the week because he's a mock man. You know, what he did to Francis was really right.
A point to ponder. Both games played Saturday, the home team won. Both games played Sunday, the home team won.
Very interesting. I sure wish I'd have known that before I put my fingertips on it. It's really good.
Well, the Patriots, believe me, even if they won that game in Oakland, I don't know, after watching Pittsburgh there, I don't think anybody can beat Pittsburgh.
Well, you made me a believer, too.
Right.
I believe it.
Okay,
everybody on the panel except for me.
But I just want to say this. I really thank everybody who hung in there with the Patriots this year, and especially the 30,000 season ticket holders who renewed their tickets last year in the midst of all the chaos of the 75 season, because they repaid us tenfold, 10 times over in the desire and the hustle and the ability and everything else, and it's been a terrific season, even though they lost it over in such a terrible way. But I just thank God that they could provide me with this much entertainment and satisfaction that I've been craving for so long as a Patriot season ticket holder.
You're not the only one.
Okay, then.
Thank you for your call, right?
Okay.
Alrighty.
Y'all ready to make me eat
I
my crow,
just
right?
going to say,
Is that why you got that evil look on your face?
I have an evil look. That's what I need.
No, I took Alka-Seltzer because I know that y'all going to make me eat crow
Well,
on this.
jump on your case today. 891-1330 here in Waltham. We're going to take a quick break, and we shall return in just a few.
If you have a choice between the best and the second best for about the same price, you don't settle for second best, do you? Well, if you're reading a daily newspaper and you're not reading the Globe, you're settling for something less. The Boston Globe is recognized as one of the 10 best newspapers in America. It's won just about every major journalistic award a paper can win, including 3 Pulitzer Prizes in the last 4 years. The Globe gives you more local coverage because the Globe has more reporters covering the city, the State House, and the sports scene than any other paper. The Globe publishes almost twice as many different political columnists as any other New England paper and subscribes to more news services. The Globe publishes more health-wanted, automotive, and real estate classified ads, and it carries more bargains, specials, and money-saving coupons, too. Compare it with the paper you're reading now and see for yourself. seen the Globe today?
Sam's Outlet, 487 Moody Street, Waltham, is a very unique experience in Army and Navy shopping. You'll find famous name jeans such as Madewell, Wrangler, and Males. And we carry Landlubber products too, including jumpsuits and coat dresses at low, low prices. Looking for corduroys? Sam's corduroys start at the incredibly low price of $10.99. All nationally known brands are featured, and in a variety of styles. We even carry corduroy overalls by Madewell, available at the giveaway price of $17.99. Corduroy army pants, we've got those too, in navy and in green. White and blue painter's pants, navy, tan, or green army pants, whatever it is, Sam's has it. And to keep you warm this winter, Sam's has quilt-lined army field jackets, fleece-lined bomber jackets with fur collars, Wrangler fleece-lined ranch coats, and down jackets starting at $39.99. Come in and browse. Look for all these back-to-school specials. Sam's Outlet is open Monday through Friday till 9 p.m. and Saturdays till 6.
I'm going to eat my crow right now, okay?
No, you don't have to. Doctor.
No, because I'm not going to give y'all a chance to pick on me because
To
I
get
was
on your
wrong.
case.
No, I was wrong, okay? Y'all guys were right. Pittsburgh is super, man. I'm not kidding. I just had a feeling that the Colts would trounce all over the Steelers, and the only thing that happened good in that whole entire game was that the stands was empty when the plane crashed in the upper tier. That's the only thing good that happened. And the Redskins, Washington, Wally,
You came on the show one day too soon.
this is the only thing I have to say to you.
No, seriously,
Because I'm mad.
I'd say,
They were awful.
you know what turned the game around for the Minnesota Vikings as strongly as it did? That
Sure.
one particular guy.
What? Sammy?
No, McClanahan.
You mean
No. I think they really set their running attack or running defense up to stop. Damn it, I can't
Chuck
remember.
Foreman.
Chuck Foreman, right?
You know,
And
I think it was
McClanahan I tell you, he just had one hell of a game, man.
Kilmer was sober, and I was disappointed. When I
Don't
saw him
say
walking
that.
out on the field, right, I said, boy, we
You
have
mean,
lost the
you
game.
mean he didn't walk all wobbly?
No, he didn't wobble at all. I said, we are in trouble. The man can see. He's 100% straight. And you know what he did? He threw wounded ducks. I mean, some of those passes he threw, you couldn't even consider it a duck. That's the truth. One guy, as a matter of fact, I don't know if you can consider this a quote.
Looked like a kickoff, right?
But what's the linebacker that got hurt? Seaman.
Right. Jeff Seaman.
He was playing middle linebacker, and Kilmer threw a pass, some little swing pass or something to the halfback. And Seaman said he'd played, 4 or 5 years. That's the first time he'd ever seen a pass where he could read everything on the football. Pete Rozell's name, commissioner, the whole works. And so that means that the ball wasn't really traveling with a lot of philosophy.
I agree with that.
You know, when we talk about the Patriots game, before we get on to another call, I think there are some Raiders who have to be commended for some real outstanding play. And number one, Fred Biletnikoff made a fantastic catch, in spite of the fact that Bob Howard was practically in his shirt. I think defensive-wise, Dave Rowe, who everybody thought was a has-been, he didn't play too badly. Problem child Matuzak played well, and I think a guy that really plays a very clean game all the way around is Monty Johnson. So I'd like to give them credit, and naturally Ken Stabler. As far as George and Willie and and Jack Tatum, look out. I think the Steelers steamroller is going to roll right over them on Saturday.
Before we go to, you know what really shocked me?
What's that?
The Raiders ran the football, and then they stopped. It really didn't make sense. In the beginning of the game, they were moving the football on the ground, and they went to the pass, and then I said, well, we got a chance now, because all the time I've been saying the Raiders had no running attack, right? And when they came out there running the football like that, I said, uh-oh, in serious trouble. But when they went to the passing attack, which made no sense to me, I figured we were back in the football game, and we were. And in all honesty, when you're here 21-11, and this is the last time around, let's win, got to gamble a little bit, Jimbo. And on them 4th and 1s, if you're on the 40-yard line on your own side, you got to go ahead and gamble, because that's your whole season. So nothing against Chuck. I just felt that, possibly in the beginning of the football game, he could have taken a few more chances earlier when he had that 11-point cushion, as opposed to taking chances when it was almost evident that it was in the stars that they were going to score again.
I know it.
Unfortunately.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Do you think the acts of George Atkinson and Jack Tatum and a few other of the Raiders are just because of intense play, or do you think they might just be degrading the game?
I think, I'm going to give my opinion on that because I was talking to a couple of people today and yesterday. I think that the play of George Atkinson and a couple of the other guys like Jack Tatum, I think they were just trying to intimidate some of the ball players. All right.
A broken nose is a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were just you broken nose, those types of things. You know, the wax on on the shoulders, the heads, whatever. But they were just trying, in my opinion, just trying to intimidate some of the Patriots because they felt they were playing a superior team. And the only way they could get to them was by breaking the concentration, by intimidating them. Now, on the other hand, when that situation with Hamilton called for roughing the passer. I didn't see the replay of the game, but I did hear Hamilton talk about that particular call after the game, and he said his quote was he tried to knock the hell out of him. That I think was because of intense play on his part. On the other side, I think it was just pure intimidation.
Do you think that's degrading the game?
It doesn't do anything for the game, I'll tell you that.
Especially
If you can't cover him, get him out of there, right?
That's exactly the way they feel about it.
Cover him, get him out.
I think it's up to the league to take a stand because naturally, if a George Atkinson can intimidate a Francis or seriously hurt a Francis, and all he's going to get out of it is a 15-yard penalty, I think they'll take it every time. But if the league cracks down and says, "Hey, you're going to sit down, Mister, for 4 or 5 games without pay," and the team is not going to be allowed to pay the fine, then he's going to start thinking. And after a few people pay him back what he is due, now that's 2 games, and I guess he naturally has been doing it all season long, he's going to start wondering about it.
But you know what, Chris, I believe in your point, too, but it's one thing that really, really bothers me. I really believe that the referees are paid off, Kimbo, and this is why I say that. Here's a guy...
That's a heavy statement, by the
Well,
way.
I'm just going to tell you why I say that. You still there, caller?
Yes, I am.
All right, well, just check this out, all right? O.J. Simpson is a very famous football player, right?
Right.
And he played in New England, and he was thrown out of the game because he objected to how he was slammed on the ground, correct?
Correct.
And here's a guy that draws people into the stadium, and the referee took it upon himself in the first 7 or 8 minutes of that game and threw O.J. out.
Right.
Okay. From the very beginning, George Atkinson hit Vataha. Tatum, excuse me. Tatum hit Vataha after the ball was thrown over his head.
I see.
After it already hit the ground, I mean, they decked Vataha. I didn't see a flag. I didn't see a warning. I didn't see a thing.
Right.
Now, my feeling is this. If the referee threw O.J. out of the game against the Patriots,
Right.
and he took it upon himself, for the sake of the game, right?
Right.
What would make that referee, that exact same one, as a matter of fact, not say something to Tatum about the dirty play?
You know what his
Or
excuse
not
would
throw
be?
them out of the game?
You know what his excuse would be?
His excuse
That
would
is
be
what-
he got paid more money.
Game.
He got paid
Right.
more money.
Right. And what would his excuse be for Conrad to play on Hamilton? He couldn't use the same excuse, could he?
No, he got
Right.
paid more money, so he got. I
I
believe.
can almost agree with you.
I believe that he got paid off, and that's how strongly I feel about that particular football game. I think it's bad for the game with less than 30 seconds left to go, that something like that would happen, and you call it a co-incident.
You could see it coming through the entire,
I
as it
agree with
led-
that.
You guys see the replay?
I saw the replay.
I saw the replay right before I came out to do our Saturday evening show, and it looked like a normal pass play where the wrestler gets the quarterback releases the ball, and the wrestler, his momentum is he's right on top of the passer, and it's
Now I got an argument for you. You say that you could see it happening, right? But if you watch the football game when Stabler ran the touchdown, a flag was already on the ground.
no, I'm saying
No, I'm just saying, they were going to let the Oakland Raiders score. I mean, really, there was a flag thrown on Stabler. You could just see that they were going to let them score. There was no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
The referee did everything except carry him across the goal line.
And there was a flag thrown when Stabler ran that touchdown.
What was it? Was outside, wasn't it?
There wasn't nothing because they didn't even call it. They picked it up.
Okay, well, one thing I think we have to look at, another couple of things. I was a little disappointed that Don Calhoun didn't see more action because one of the reasons that Sam Cunningham may have been called for illegal procedure. Now, I don't know, but I have a feeling not having played very often in the last 2
He
weeks.
said he could not hear the call.
Right, do you think maybe that was the situation? Another thing that very few people have brought up, on the play that Stabler was called for roughing the passer, from the angle that I saw it on TV, it looked as though Branch was being interfered.
Yes, it did.
If you remember, he was on the sideline, and 2 guys, it looked like they ran him right out of bounds. And very few people have mentioned that, but when I say I could see it coming, all afternoon long, and then when the Raiders got the ball back, all the announcers kept saying, this Oakland team, they've done it. I've seen it, Kirk Gowdy's with it. I've seen it so many times. They always come back in this stadium to win.
Like they knew who was supposed to win the game. And they were 11 points behind at that particular time. And I don't care who you are,
That's still a lot of points to make up in 6 minutes. And they made it up.
But I'm not going to say that the referee is paid off. I'll leave that to Gary. I'm
I'm
going to
saying
see what happens.
I'm saying that I believe the referee is paid off.
I don't think it could happen. And I'm proven wrong. Yes.
All right,
I'll
the referees
respect
aren't
the
paid off. They're supposed to be so honest and everything, right?
Nobody is so honest.
I know, but why are they missing these calls? Can they see? Are they too old? Can they move?
I was thinking, I think one problem is with the officials that none of them are operating on a full-time basis. I think if you want to have competent officiating, let's have some full-time paid officials so that during the off-season and whenever they are being constantly updating themselves on rule interpretations, etc., so that you're not bringing in a fellow who's in the classroom or who's president of a gang for 5 days a week, and then you bring him out to referee the most important game of the year with so much money and the championship and profit stake. Let's get some full-time officials, professionals, and forget about this part-time business, because the NFL, for all of its supposed high class, is a very, in terms of organization, I feel, is not as high class as some of these other leagues.
I can only say on behalf of the officials, no matter, and I'm not defending the officials now, I'm just saying on their behalf, is the fact that no matter how many eyes or how many guys are out there, you're not going to see everything. There's certain things that are going to slip by you.
Yeah, but I mean, it was going on all game.
Oh, I agree with certain blatant things. There's certain things that are so blatant they could not be missed as far as I was concerned. But again, you're not going to catch everything. Overall, I think the officials do a pretty good job. It's just in games like yesterday, things were so blatant, it just seems like all the officials were for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, can I ask you a question, caller?
Yes.
Now, let's just say, for instance, you're an assistant, okay? And you're also a football fan.
Right.
Do you think that you could officiate the game and not, like you're interested in the game, and there's a human factor involved, and that I believe that even though the officials are supposedly non-partial,
Right.
they have their favorite team.
I think so, too.
And
I think if I went out there, I think I'd do my best to get myself prepared for the game the night before, the few days before, to psych myself out to that fact where I'm not going to be partial.
And
Where
then
I
that's
wanna
when you
go out
become
to where
partial.
It's not going to come down to where my call is going to make the difference, where it's going to be disputed. So,
Well, that referee that threw that flag, the last two flags, is famous.
yeah.
He's famous now, believe me. And rich, too, as far as I'm concerned. If he's not rich, it's his fault because he should be. He should have been well paid for that game.
Jim,
Yes.
during your career, I'm sure it might have happened. Have you ever been labeled with a cheap shot and then you find out that, like, 2 yards away from you, or 3 or 4 yards, the referee's standing right there?
Oh, yeah. I had one particular linebacker that played for the Oakland Raiders, and I can't remember his name right now. His name escapes me. But he was a cheap shot artist from the word go.
Dan Connor.
No, it wasn't kind of another guy. And
The one that hurt you?
yeah, he used to. Every time we played the Oakland Raiders, he would intimidate, just take off and whack me in the head.
Yeah.
And I vowed that if I just was waiting in the bushes, because if I ever got the chance, I was going to hurt him. And I'm the type of ball player, I don't want to hurt anybody.
Right.
But there's only so much you can take of that. And sooner or later it's going to come back on you. But matter of fact, I waited in the bushes, and I never did get my chance.
No, he got
I waited too long. Yeah, I waited too long.
His name, I remember the guy.
I'll remember his name sooner or later. But anyway, anything else you'd like to say?
No, that's about it. I would like to say that one thing. I'm really proud of the Patriots, and I'm really happy, and I think they're going to go all the way next year.
Nothing except good things can be said about them because
Right.
they've done a super job this year.
Okay.
Thank you for your call, all right?
Bye-bye.
So now, look, 34, 24 minutes, 26 minutes before the hour, and yes, you're on the air.
Hail to the referee.
Hail to the referee. Hi, Washington. Well, I know you're disappointed today.
Get out the funeral music for what?
Listen, not really, let's see, I gotta get with the predictions first. Chris was the best. He picked all 4.
Right?
Right on. And 24-21 in the Patriots game, right?
28-24.
Well, I thought it was 24-21, but nevertheless.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you picked 28-24. And then next was Lenny and Jim. They both had 3. And Dell and I came up trailing. We each got 2.
Uh-huh. And what do you think of the Washington Redskins performance on Saturday?
I think they all had the clue.
That's the Friday night caught up with them.
I don't know. See, the Patriots were only complaining about the refereeing for 10 seconds of the game, And the Redskins are complaining about the refereeing for 55 minutes of the game.
Well, I'll tell you, Washington Redskins can't blame that particular game on the referee.
Every time they got going, every time they got a drive going, they got set back with a penalty.
Well, I'll tell you, the way Kilmer was throwing that ball,
Yeah, it was
he had
awful.
nothing to complain about. It looked like they looked like kickoffs instead of passes.
Yeah, no, it was awful. But you know, the Patriots, this may make them into a team, this thing. You know, remember I told you about the thing, we're with them. We had it happen to us, too.
That's the type of those are the
That'll
types
give them character, too.
Right. I was just going to say those are the types of things that unify a team. And if Fairbanks is any kind of a coach,
Right.
which I can't really make a judgment on, but at this point I have to give him a plus as far as opposed to a minus. If he's any kind of a coach, that team will come around and do its thing next year.
Yeah, Bradshaw and Tarkington were sharp.
Hey, did you see the Pittsburgh game?
Oh, unbelievable.
Those guys are awesome. I tell you, a team like that will make you retire if you're on the opposing team.
Nobody's going to touch them.
Not if they keep playing the way
Not
they
if
are.
they play that way.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Franco Harris goes out the first half with 122 yards. Unbelievable.
Yeah, say, you know this Pat Hayden?
Yep.
He reminds me of the Little General.
Who's the little general?
You don't know who the Little General is?
Eddie LeBaron.
Eddie LeBaron.
Eddie LeBaron. I was really struck by it. I'd never seen him too much, you know. But there were a couple of times in that game when he walked out there, this little guy among the Giants, when he looked very much like LeBaron, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. It looks to me like at this point, a Minnesota Pittsburgh team, but you know.
Super Bowl, you mean?
Yeah. But we're really going to have 2 Super Bowls this year.
You're going to have one this coming Saturday.
You want to believe it. That Pitt-Oakland game
is going to be
unreal. The dirtiest against the dirty, maybe, you know.
I wouldn't say the Pittsburgh Steelers are dirty.
Well, let's say the rough against the tough. How's
okay, that's better.
But it's going to be... the playoffs, I think, lived up to everything. You know, of course, I was disappointed in the Redskins.
You might see the best game of the whole playoffs coming this Saturday.
I was disappointed with Dallas, too. You know, it's not to take anything away from L.A., but, you know, they had almost 2 minutes there, and I didn't agree with the strategy to have 4 passing plays in a row. They had enough time to at least try one running play. You know?
Well, obviously they had no confidence in the running attack.
Yeah,
They
obviously.
could have worked it down, though, I thought.
Yeah,
in the first down
exactly.
position.
Yeah, and then I thought that touchback was absolutely brilliant by L.A.
Yes, save the game for them.
Yeah, I mean that safety.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was thinking he was going to do something like that. It's been
boy.
done before. I remember in a Harvard game a couple of years ago against Yale,
Yeah.
how the quarterback played around and danced around in the end zone to let the clock run out.
Boy, that says something for scholarship.
I'll go for that.
I will say one thing. If he had tried to punt, I'll guarantee you Charlie Waters probably would have come in and blocked it.
Oh, boy, well.
Got to give him a lot of credit. 2 blocked punts and an interception.
Yeah. Darryl?
Yeah.
You're being quiet.
You noticed.
I told you, that's all I got to say to you is, if Archie Bunker can do it, I can too.
Well, listen.
Plus, I got my mic all wet.
I don't know what you're complaining about. You picked as many winners as I did.
Sir, that does not put potato chips in your mouth.
Hey.
And the candy tastes good, but I would have rather tasted potato chips.
Darryl, it may come as a surprise to you, but I might not have made out any different than you did.
Comes as no surprise watching them unless you're Benedict Arnold.
But how about that Chris there? All 4 of them he's got.
How about it, sports fans? And if Superstar is listening, how about that Superstar?
Yes, he picked Oakland 28-24.
And I hope Superstar is listening. That's all I can say.
Pittsburgh 28-21. He picked Minnesota 17-10. And he picked L.A. 31-20.
Well, what can I say? The man, he was right.
He was 100% right.
Right?
Now I came up big. All season long, I had been falling down on the job.
Came out when it counted,
When
though.
it counted, I was right on.
Yeah, and he probably bet the other way.
Yeah.
No, I didn't touch any of those games.
But I tell you what, Washington, we got to move on. We appreciate talking to you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Talk to you later.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right.
Well, let me say a few things for people that are still interested in the National Football League Championship. Sports Rap, that's the show. Lynn Charmley, Steve Dene, Chris Haynes, and Steve Memola. Mamulo.
No, it isn't. It's Memolo.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I know. You
Well,
said
anyway,
it right. This clown
Sports
here.
Rap is on WHET 11 to midnight every night. Same
Except
phone
for
number.
tonight. Tonight we've got the Liberty Bowl on, so we got screwed up. We'll be on from 8 to 8:45.
So, but they can
sorry,
still listen, though, right?
Yeah, from 8 to 8:45, sure.
Because the Liberty Bowl should be good. I pick UCLA over Alabama.
Of course.
But if you're still interested in the football, and you should be, this weekend the American and National Football League championship games will be decided. And if you would like to win a $25 savings bond, all you have to do is to predict the winner of both games, the AFC and the NFC, along with the score, and mail it to Sports Rap, 750 South Street, WHET, Waltham, Massachusetts, and you'll win. It's very simple. $25 savings bond. And you can hear the championship game between the good, the bad, and the ugly, the Oakland Raiders, and the Pittsburgh Steelers live on WHET on Saturday, right? Okay, we'll be right back.
Well, the fall and winter season is upon us again. And that means fall and winter sports, too. Football, hockey, basketball, soccer, and so many more. Auburndale Sports Shop has complete lines of products to satisfy your needs in any sport. Whether you need a complete hockey outfit or just a football mouthpiece, Auburndale Sports not only has large selections, but trained salespeople to steer you towards the best item for your needs. Auburndale Sports Shop is not just another product distributor. Their prices are fair and competitive, and they stand behind their products. They have built and they stake their reputation on their outstanding service. From the repair and reconditioning of equipment and restringing of rackets to the unique skate trade-in program and sharpening while you wait, Auburndale Sports has consistently proven that they cannot be beat. So for any equipment or advice you might need this season, come down and see Rob or Dan or any of the people at Auburndale Sports Shop, located at 419 Lexington Street in Auburndale. You can be assured of quality products at the best prices with the integrity and service to please anyone. Be sure to mention that Jim, Darrell, and Chris sent you.
Tired of the travel hassle? Forget about all those trips to the airline offices for information and tickets. Beat the long lines at the ticket counters by doing what professionals do. One phone call from your home or office to the pros at Welsh Travel, and our advisors will do it all, literally everything. Welsh Travel can book your airline, train, and boat tickets and give you advice on the best hotel to choose. Need a car to meet your plane? Welsh can arrange it, together with sightseeing tours, theater reservations, and much more. All of this including delivery of all tickets and documents to your home or office, free of any service charges. One call does it all. 237-5707. Welsh Travel Consultants, 15 Walnut Street in Wellesley Hills.
What can I say, man?
Well, it's an ugly day. Been a
Nah.
disappointing. Well, it is an ugly day because it's raining out, and
I really feel
Disappointing weekend.
bad for the guys on the team. You know?
my heart dropped out for him.
I felt it here Julius Adams has played well all year, and he won't play in any more football games. At least Haynes and Gray, Francis, and Hannah, they'll get to play in the Pro Bowl. All for naught, man. I mean, for nothing. Because of two. Actually, you know what? You know what really lost the game, though, Jimbo?
What's that?
When Sam Cunningham ran the ball out of bounds, all he had to do was go another inch.
I
That was
agree.
it. He had a first down, and they would have had possession of the ball, and they would have eaten up 2 more minutes and have been closer for that wooden leg foot field goal kicker. That's another thing that fires me up, too.
Do you think, I have a question for you. Maybe the listening audience would like to participate also. But when Sam Cunningham was running to his left and ran out of bounds.
1 inch.
Yeah, I know it. As a running back, that's a no-no.
Yep.
But do you think that part of the reason he may have done that is because that's his bad shoulder?
I think so, but you know what I was really surprised about?
What's that?
They didn't go for it.
I know it.
For 1 inch, he didn't go for it. It just bothered me
It's
to
a matter
no
of about
end.
6 inches, right?
Yeah, it just bothered me to no end that, go for it. Heck, they've been going for it all day long.
And they've
I
been
don't
making
blame
it all day long.
Yeah, I don't blame Sam, for running out of bounds because he probably thought that he had made it to the first
More
down.
than likely.
And to protect his shoulder, step out. I don't blame him
But
for
then
that.
again, you can go back down and say why, after the great performance that the fellow's done, was Don Calhoun was not in the game.
That was a good question, Chris, because I told some people I was with that if they put Calhoun and Cunningham in the game at the same time, early, Raiders were in trouble.
Yeah, I
but they
agree.
never did. I mean, they took Calhoun out, put
Well-
Cunningham in. They kept nothing wrong with Andy Johnson. Don't get me wrong, but you got to go if you. That's
All
a live or
your
die
iron.
situation. You
All
know,
your
you just put all of your marbles into one bag, you shake them up, and you hope they come out the same color. If they don't, that's a funny picture. Yes, you're on the radio.
Hello, this is your Big 8 booster and Steeler fan.
It's
Boy, you're really
we
hopping
have-
the bandwagon, don't
Yeah,
you?
he can jump on me. I'm already.
I think I did predict the Steelers 37-7 and the Vikings about 35-6. And I'm sorry, I did predict the Raiders would beat the Patriots in Los Angeles over Dallas, but I'm really sorry the Patriots lost. Although I think this game is going to be one hell of a game, and I believe the Patriots showed how to beat the Raiders and run right at them.
That's the only way that you play the big games, the big teams.
Right.
You go right at them. You don't be going off tackle and trying to fool somebody. You go right at them.
I think the Steelers look very awesome. I think
Unbelievable.
and I think Darryl, you thought Baltimore was going to beat them, but if you run at Baltimore and you open up their secondary, you can beat them easily.
Well, I think he can do that with most teams.
Well, you can't do
No,
that
I
with the
agree.
Steelers.
I'm trying to, protect
You couldn't do that to the Patriots either.
Pardon?
You couldn't do that to the Steelers, and Oakland tried that to the Patriots.
Well,
They
see,
couldn't
that
do it.
Steeler game was over when my man threw that 70-yard touchdown in the first series
Yeah.
of plays. It was about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was about it.
I think that did. I think that really had a big.
Because
big
they were
effect
playing,
on them.
they were hitting. As a matter of fact, they were hitting so hard that if they wouldn't have hit this guy on the kickoff so hard, they might have recovered that fumble. You know, the guy fumbled the opening kickoff.
Yes, sir.
And it might have been if it would have, could have, yeah. You're right. They lost real bad.
Right. They
Pittsburgh's
did
awesome.
lose bad.
Pittsburgh's awesome.
Chris, did Oklahoma State handle Brigham Young?
With relative ease. Terry
right.
Miller played very well.
Right.
They got few interceptions off of Gifford Nielsen. It was an
That's right.
interesting game. I caught part of it on the tube.
Did you watch the game?
Oklahoma State Brigham Young?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have never heard a worse game being called by the.
Oh, terrible.
Well,
Who the
that's-
hell are those guys?
It was
That's
on Channel 38.
Oh, my
That's the
God, that
that's
was
the
terrible.
Mizlu Sports Network, and if you remember last year in the blue-gray game, they cut it, I think, 6 minutes short
Oh, my
because
God.
of commercials. The game was going
The-
fine, and they cut 6 minutes
The
out of it.
sporting announcers had to be the worst. It sounded like a high school game.
Yes, it did. As a matter of fact, it did. The picture on the television looked like that. as a
I
matter
know
of
it.
Well,
fact.
just you can't wait till New Year's Eve for the Peach Bowl. That'll be also on the Mizlu
Reminded me of the
Network.
World Football League.
It did. It looked like the Philadelphia Bell versus the.
It's Shreveport Steamer, right?
Yeah, something like that. I used to watch those games up here.
Really?
We did too.
Oh, those were
We
good
watched when we
games,
got
though.
back.
I did think. I don't know if you guys watched part of the game, but Oklahoma State has a tremendous defensive line and offensive line. They ripped Brigham Young apart.
What'd you think of Phil Dokes, this defensive tackle of Oklahoma State?
Yeah, you see him score the touchdown and the intercepted pass?
Yeah, I saw that.
Woof!
The big dude can run, can he?
Yes, sir. I think he's going to be a high draft choice, you know?
Well, they've got Terry Miller back and Robert Turner, and amongst others. They're going to have another good team next year.
Great day for the Big 8, but also I really like the, I thought, I watched the Patriots game, and I wasn't a Patriots fan. I'm still not I'm a ball players fan.
Well, you got to be a believer, at least in the game yesterday.
Well,
Saturday, rather.
Jim, what I say is I'm not a Patriots fan because I think the organization is a bunch of sugar lumps.
All right. All right.
But I do feel that they play one hell of a game, and Julius Adams is to me one of the 5 best tackles in the game.
Most underrated, too.
Can you understand why he is not going to the Pro Bowl? He's got to be a very disappointed and disgusted
Yeah, I
individual.
think he's better than Joe Dutton,
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about that.
and it showed against one. Julius Adams played a hell of a lot better than Joe Dutton did against John Kolb. John Kolb is probably one of the best underrated linemen in the game also.
But you see, one of the problems is all these teams, the Colts have, what do they call them, the sack pack, and the Raiders have this, and the other teams have their fearsome foursomes, and the Steelers have the steel curtain.
Right.
They're getting the big build-ups, and
Right.
these are the people. It's the same with anything else. If you tell me that Joe Blow out of
Yeah, I
Nebraska,
understand,
and the Patriots are not getting that build-up. Julius Adams goes out and plays a very steady game in and game out, but it's not the Patriots' fearsome threesome or whatever.
Yeah, I understand what
And
you're
that's a
saying.
big part of it.
I understand.
Right now,
Also,
it's only the fearsome one because Julius Adams at this point is it.
yeah, he played one hell of a game, you know.
No doubt.
I really think he did. Also, I think the Steelers are going to destroy the Raiders. You can beat the Raiders. The Patriots show how to beat the Raiders. Run right at them and pass down the middle.
I don't think there's anybody can beat the Pittsburgh Steelers right now.
No, and I'm waiting for dinner, Dow.
Huh?
I'm waiting for dinner. I went to about 4 weeks ago dinner, my wife and me.
He just went deaf.
No, your wife stays home.
But I tell you what, okay?
Yes, sir.
I lost to you. Did you leave your name and address?
No, I'll come I'll come to the station.
No, you ain't gonna come until I'm gonna take you.
Oh, well, I figure I better show up at least so you know.
Well, the Steelers have to
all
win
right,
the
well,
Super Bowl first.
Yeah, I have to get into it.
It's gonna have to be after the first of the year.
That's okay. I'll wait.
Because I'm going to Philadelphia and, hibernate for a while.
Yeah, you better.
And that's a good city to hibernate in because they don't even know they exist.
Not for the Philadelphia Eagle ball player that...
Blenda Gay. Did you hear about Blenda Gay?
Yes, I did.
It's unfortunate.
Terrible.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about tragedies on our show, so that's why we haven't mentioned it, but
terrible.
It's an unfortunate thing, and you're right. I did wager a dinner. You got a dinner, your wife and yourself, on me, and it will have to be after the first of the year.
That's okay,
because that's when they're opening up a new Burger King out in my area.
That's what I figured.
I'm just joking. I'll take you somewhere nice, I promise you.
Give him your number so he can reach you, by the way.
All right. Also, I thought you...
Okay, I'll give you my number so you can reach me. Write it down, okay?
You better not give it to me over the air.
Yeah, that's
Why?
right.
It don't matter. I can tell your voice when
Any
you
of
call.
you people want to harass Darryl, here's your chance.
Why don't you give it to Len and I can do it? It'd be better for you.
Call back right after the show.
Yeah, call me after the show.
It'd be better for you.
All right.
Okay.
Also, what I did think, first something very interesting when I watched the Steelers game. You talk about heralded defenses and so forth. But I'll tell you one thing. We saw, I think, over the weekend, the two finest offensive lines operating, the Steelers and the Patriots. Boy, they were really something. Don't you think? Don't you think
They were
those guys...
thumping. They were thumping. They did a hell of a job. That's all you can say about it, really.
Really?
All right. We're going to rush you on because we got to take a break and then come back for some more calls. All right.
Call me after the show, about 5 after 7.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All righty. Here in Waltham.
I lost the dinner. Gotta eat crow.
We have to give out
I
star
can't.
contests,
Why did I
too.
come here today?
So you can eat crow. 891-1330. We'll
Maybe
be right back.
as much as I gotta eat, I can save it and carry them out to dinner on it.
We'll be right back.
Those icy winds from the north are telling you it's time to prepare for a long, hard winter season. Get a head start on Mother Nature by winterizing your car now. Come to Newton Auto Supply, 438 Lexington Street in Auburndale, and let their competent people aid you in meeting your winter automotive needs. Newton Auto features the complete AC and Delco line. Let them outfit you with quality Delco tune-up parts for easy starting on those frigid mornings. And remember that a finely tuned engine is virtually useless if your battery is dead. So think about a new Delco battery, a great battery with a tradition of dependability. And if you're trying to economize with today's high gas prices, optimum mileage is essential. AC filters will keep your pocketbook smiling and your car running like a Swiss watch. Replacing all your filters, air, oil, and gas will help conserve energy and prevent costly future repairs. Don't forget your spark plugs. New AC spark plugs will keep that gas mileage at its peak, too. Remember, go with names you can trust and depend on. AC and Delco parts. Let Newton Auto Supply, 438 Lexington Street in Auburndale, supply you with the right parts and help you winterize the right way. If you can't drop by, call 969-1191. That's Newton Auto Supply, 438 Lexington Street in Auburndale.
Sam's Outlet, 487 Moody Street, Waltham, is a very unique experience in Army and Navy shopping. You'll find famous name jeans such as Madewell, Wrangler, and Males. And we carry landlubber products too, including jumpsuits and coat dresses at low, low prices. Looking for corduroys? Sam's corduroys start at the incredibly low price of $10.99. All nationally known brands are featured, and in a variety of styles. We even carry corduroy overalls by Madewell, available at the giveaway price of $17.99. Corduroy army pants, we've got those too, in navy and in green. White and blue painter's pants, navy, tan, or green army pants, whatever it is, Sam's has it. And to keep you warm this winter, Sam's has quilt-lined army field jackets, fleece-lined bomber jackets with fur collars, Wrangler fleece-lined ranch coats, and down jackets starting at $39.99. Come in and browse. Look for all these back-to-school specials. Sam's Outlet is open Monday through Friday till 9 p.m. and Saturdays till 6.
Christmas party.
Man, I went to a
It's
Christmas
the time of
party.
the year, man.
I went to a Christmas party last night.
Is that what's wrong with you today?
Where was it, Darryl?
It was fun. That's all I don't want to talk about it. It was fun. The last
Yeah.
I remember, I was there.
Yeah. Okay, you in here.
Yeah, reflecting the Patriots' defeat there, I think one thing that you touched upon previously was, the Patriots, they really had gifts too there on those 2 punts there when they had the penalties and everything.
That's right.
Now, how many times do you see defensive holding on a punt return, on a punt? They
Not
got
too
caught holding
often.
there?
Not too often.
Right. And I think another thing, the special teams of the Pats, with the injuries they did have, Romanishin and Forte, and they got really put out in the teams. I think.
Jess Phillips.
Right. I think that's what hurt them too. They weren't, the coordination really wasn't there as it was previously.
You know something? I want to make a comment at this point because I haven't said it, at least on this show, prior to now. But a lot of people just don't realize how important the special teams are. George Allen obviously does because he works on them. He spends a good amount of time working strictly on special teams, which is the reason why they come through on kickoffs and punts and whatever. The Patriots have obviously done well this past year because they've got a big contribution from the guys on the special teams. Jess Phillips has come through super in certain situations, certain crucial situations. And again, I just want to emphasize the fact that the special teams is about 20% of your offense. And if those guys can come through in the fashion that, like the Patriots have done this past year, that gives you a big advantage.
Yeah, and I think it was obvious to me that you think you should have substituted Calhoun for Cunningham.
At this point, I've talked to a number of people from after the game Saturday until today in the office, and a lot of people were, saying the same thing. But again, that's afterthought. Sam Cunningham, made a mistake that was very crucial, I felt. And I'm not downgrading Sam Cunningham. I have to, I want to say on his behalf that he's one hell of a ball player. And if he can just stay healthy, he's going to prove out to be a very successful fullback for the New England Patriots. But on the other hand, you can't say that's like the situation with Kuchek and Bradshaw in Pittsburgh. You have Coach Nolan's made the Pittsburgh coach. Chuck Knowles, right. Made the comment that he is going to go with his number 1 ball players. And any coach is going to feel the same way. As far as anybody's concerned, the coaching staff and the fans here in Boston, Sam Cunningham is your number 1 fullback. You've got to go with him. Supposedly he was healthy. He may have been favoring that shoulder a bit, but nonetheless he is your number 1 ball player. And keeping that in mind, he's the ammunition you're going to use against the Oakland Raiders.
And plus, Jimbo, the man had a separated shoulder, not just a bruised one.
No, I talked to him. It was not separated. I talked to him personally. No, I talked to him personally.
And I can't give him any credit. I was going to make him a hero and say the guy was really brave.
No, it was not.
If he just had a little chip on his shoulder, then I ain't going to make up any excuse. He should have gotten that first down, sir. Time's running short. I'm sorry we had to run.
Okay,
thank you for your
call.
You sure it wasn't separated?
I talked
Well, if
to
I
him.
was him, I'd tell everybody it was separated because now he's got no excuse for not getting 1 inch.
Well, I understand it was a nerve or something in his arm, and it was awfully painful, or he would not have stayed out for 3 or 4 weeks like he did.
Mm-hmm.
But all I can say is I believe that they went with the right person, Sam Cunningham, and what can you do? The game's over.
You can do me a favor.
What's that?
Find out how much that referee was paid for that game. Look, it's time to say goodnight. For Jim Nance and Chris Haynes, this is Darryl Johnson. Don't forget Sports Wrap. I think it comes on 8:45 today.
8 o'clock tonight.
8 o'clock to 8:45 before the Liberty Bowl game, UCLA, Alabama. We'll be back tomorrow.
WHEG Waltham.